Okay, let's do a quick little mic check, see how we're doing. Sounds like everything is working hunky-dory. Okay. Okay, good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay. Get everything sort of set up here. We're having a good night tonight. Starting over here on time and get this thing rolling a little bit. Have some fun with this. Okay. If you're on the chat, please go ahead. Let me know who's on, who's hanging out with us tonight. And we'll get started here in just a second here. Okay, let's get started. Again, welcome to Sketching After Hours. My name is Paul Angeli. I am a live action storyboard artist coming to you from the East Coast here. It's about 12 minutes till midnight. And this is my time to hang out with you good folks and have a good time sketching and building that, building the, what do we call it, building our pencil mileage, putting that mileage in, putting in that time to sketch, hang out, and sort of chill out together as we're learning something new and drawing together. And have some fun. I think it's super important to sketch every day. I try to do it. I've been trying to stay consistent and follow exactly what I preach. Any chance I get to sketch, I'm sketching all the time. I either have my different size sketchbooks that I'll have, and I'll work with these different sketchbooks, and I'll just be sketching non-stop. Today at lunch break, I just busted out a couple drawings. I did a few before work, and then tonight we're hanging out and drawing together at our sketching jam session. I just can't share enough that for me in my journey, I go back and I look at my artwork. I've been drawing ever since I can remember. I didn't go to a classic art college, a fine art college. I did do some, some basic stuff in high school and basic stuff in college, and I learned how to paint a little bit. I learned how to do graphite using pencil, those type of disciplines in classes. I did a lot of study work in special effects makeup and doing sculpture and model making and prosthetics and creatures and appliances to put onto your face, or either latex or foam latex, and that type of something like you'd see in Face Off, that TV show. And but I got heavy duty into the computer side as a 2D animator and going on from there. So that was fun for me. But I just can't recommend enough to do your sketching. Sketch as much as you can, and that goes for cafe sketches. Just having a coffee or a tea or a beverage and just sitting there and enjoying yourself, having a fun beverage and drawing, getting at that sketchbook. Drawing the patrons at the coffee shop. You see a lot of interesting characters, or going out in nature and drawing. I have a lot of friends that did that painting outside or drawing outside, or sketch meetups and those type of things, as well as just have another friend. He went to the zoo, and he would go and draw all the zoo animals working on his animal construction. I think I've given the story a few times right now. I went out of my way. I was originally from the San Francisco Bay Area, and I would travel down to Southern California on business a lot. And I would hook up with Steven Silver and his drawing school down in Los Angeles, and getting the opportunity to work with live models and drawing. I think I've shared some of those experiences before, but put that pencil mileage in. It's I can't preach this one enough. As a storyboard artist, or as a story artist, or any type of artist, you need to hone your craft. You gotta put in those reps, just like a bodybuilder, Arnold Schwarzenegger, or training like Bruce Lee or whoever it might be. You gotta put in the practice. It's like I think I mentioned it earlier. It's like being a doctor. You got to always be studying and being on top of all the latest journals and scientific discoveries as a physician or a scientist. Same thing as even as a mechanic. You got to keep up with the latest technologies in terms of computerized systems. To keep your car up and running. Why wouldn't you do that for your craft? As an artist, and it doesn't matter what artist you are, you're learning so many different things. And I know I've mentioned it again as well. I was talking to another pro out there, and they're just like, we were calling exploring. Even today, I've been drawing for ages now, and I still continue to practice. There's still a new artist that inspires me, or I have passion to go learn and practice those things. So tonight we have something special. I saw how everybody really enjoyed the sketching female faces last week, and I said, well, let's just do the whole body. What the heck? Let's just work on the whole body, and I'm going to put a little flair on this because we're going to do it for storyboards, and we're going to come up with those sort of systems. I'm not here to do abridgment or we'll break down some of those traditional things, but what do you need to do to draw female characters for your storyboards, and maybe down the road another one will do it on men and children and age differences, ethnicity. We can play all different ways, but I thought it would be really fun today just to work on the female body today, work on what are the things as a storyboard artist, what am I looking for, what am I trying to create, keep it simple. I'm not sitting there drawing the Mona Lisa. I'm trying to just draw a quick gesture drawing or a quick drawing, thumbnail, and then maybe down the road, maybe it might be a black and white, a line art, a full color, or just a tonal, character. So, and you can use these skills for everything. So we're in the grassroots right now, the fundamentals, those pillars, those bases to get you going and get you to be a good artist of what you're doing. You get out of it what you put into it. And so before we get started, I'm going to check the chat here real quick because I got a lot of people that are interested in what we're doing tonight and interested in what we're doing on this channel. So let's see who's on board. I got Tornado T. Hi, Tornado T. How you doing? I hope all is well in Alaska, my friend. I got my friend Ronnie. Hey, Ronnie, how you doing? Good to see you. Ronnie said, hope your evening is going well. It is. I got home from work a little while ago, had some dinner, and I'm sitting down with you, good friends. Plans got canceled so I can hang out tonight. Awesome. Thanks. Appreciate that. Ronnie, today's been a really good day for me in terms of drawing. Did lots today and felt fun. It was in my flow state today. So I really like my art. Hey, listen, I think, Ronnie, we talked about it last time we got together. Sometimes you have a good day. Sometimes you have a bad day. Sometimes everything is flowing, because you think about when you're super tired, and this goes into, I guess it's a different topic we'll talk about later. Maybe tonight's not the focus of this one. Is like mental health and those type of things. You got to take a break every now and then. I work pretty hard, and I'm very dedicated to my craft, to my work, to producing the best results for my clients and directors and projects that I'm working on. Very, very, like I said, very dedicated to what I'm doing, and I put a lot of time in, and sometimes I just have to step away and take a break for myself, recharge those engines, get with my family, get with my friends. I love the outdoors, and maybe it's the Pennsylvanian in me. I love being in the outdoors, and I love being outside. I'm a big fly fisherman for those fly fishers out there. I love fly fishing, and I love being out on the water and everything. One of my sons used to be on a fly fishing team, and I fish with him everywhere. And you know, we have fun doing that together, and I do it with both my sons, and it's just great. Got a great hobby, and there's nothing like being outside and the snow's tinkling down onto the stream, and you're catching big fish and releasing them and having a good time. You know, it's just fun to do. So get that time to recharge, but also you got to put the work in too. You got to, when you recharge, you think about it. It's like it's all your motor skills as a person, and you're moving your hand, and your hand-eye coordination is all those things. And if you're not feeling that, you know, it's sort of hard to produce the work that you're trying to do. But no matter what, and I think it's really important, you got to do the work. You got to put the time into this. You got to put in, and I don't care what discipline. I know we talk this channel is focused on visual storytelling and you know, art and filmmaking and those type of things. But it's like you got to put the time in, and it doesn't matter if it's garbage. I've been on my Instagram handle. I get a lot of screenplay writing stuff that's getting, you know, fed on my feed, and it's so true. We have a blank page. When I'm sitting there looking at a blank page, and it's just sitting there staring you back in the face, and it's like, you got to fill it. You got to fill that picture frame for your film, your storyboard, your comic, your illustration for your children's book, whatever it might be. You have to put that time in. You got to get something out, and it's okay if it's the pits, boo, that's not a good drawing. That's fine. That's where iterations are going to come into play. The hardest thing is to sit down and put that initial image on that page, and bringing all that knowledge and all that creativity out. You just got to, sometimes you just got to just brain dump it, boom, and then go from there and iterate from there. I don't know how many countless storyboards I've done. You know, there's thousands. You know, you're working on movies, and you're working on different projects, and there's, you know, just so many boards, and you can't fall in love with them. And I'm sitting there going, that one's good, that one could be enhanced, this one, you're out. You know, next, as I'm editing and playing with the story, because at the end of the day, all I'm trying to do is tell a story. And I'm trying to entertain, you know, and I try to be entertaining to you good folks out there, taking the time out of your busy days to come and watch Paulie do his thing. So I appreciate you being out there. So again, let's kick off the show again. But again, if we haven't met before, my name is Paul Angeli. I am a live action storyboard artist, and I come to you tonight. This is our live session tonight called, you know, Sketching After Hours. But let's quickly go through the programming real quick. Where's that slide real quick? Where is that slide? Boom. And sort of, this is sort of my weekly programming. I try to come to you 3 days a week on our live streams. On Tuesdays, it's pretty much our training and tutorial. On Tuesdays, we're doing storyboard, mastering the basics. This last Tuesday, we did a whole session, and our final session on that screenplay we were working with called, you know, Jurassic Time Loop, and we actually did an animatic and showed some of that, and that was pretty fun to do, and I hope everybody enjoyed that. And then on Thursdays, today is our sketch time. It's our time to hook up, sketch, learn something new, try some, and I try to share some of my best practices, tips, and tricks to help you out, so you can fill up that sketchbook and keep yourself off with some training and learning. Then on Saturdays, we have our storyboard live, our storyboard jam sessions, and on those jam sessions, we have a good time with those too, because I just pretty much pick a topic at random and have fun with it. And I know we've done Tarzan, we've done the movie Alien, we did our own version. I got some other fun stuff planned for our Saturdays this month, a little bit more holiday cheer in some of those, and having sort of fun with those and stuff. But we've done so many, and you can catch all of these 3 different series of live streams. You can catch them all on my YouTube channel. So I appreciate you taking the time to subscribe to the channel, give those a like, and when you go to subscribe to the channel, don't forget to hit that bell button so you're notified, so you don't miss any of these wonderful live streams coming out to you. We got over 25 different live streams right now, well over 30 hours of just great storyboarding and art content coming to you from this channel. We're getting pretty close here. We're almost at number 500 subscribers right now. So I appreciate, and that's how folks can give back to me for me spending my time with you and sharing with you. Just give me a like. Give me a subscribe on the channel, and we'll continue coming with some great content. I'm excited about the month of December. We got a lot of things coming out. December and January, some new things I'm doing to even give you greater value and help you on your way if you're becoming a storyboard artist or just pretty much focusing the art of visual storytelling. Anyways, so tonight we're focusing on drawing the female body and how we're going to do that for storyboards, and having some fun with that. But before I go to, let me make sure I got my contact information up there for you. Let me put that out right now. Again, my name is Paul Angeli. I'm a live action storyboard artist. If you want to get in touch with me or have a project you're interested working with me on, you can reach me at mr.mr.paul.angeli@gmail.com. You can see my website at www.paulangeli.com. And then, of course, a lot of you we keep in contact through Instagram and here on this YouTube channel. So again, thanks for joining us, and let's get started here. Okay, so I'm going to check real quick. Like I said, we got Tornado T, got Ronnie hanging out with us. Okay, and Ronnie said over here, got a head start and drew a few female characters already. Awesome, good job, Tornado T. All is good. Got a bit of snow today, but nothing too much. Gonna sit down and do some more drawing tonight. Awesome, go for it. Keep those drawings going. Over here in East Coast, got a couple flurries right now. I'm in more of the central Pennsylvania area. We've gotten a couple dustings so far. Nothing that's stuck to the ground yet. I'm waiting for it. It's going to happen. I got to break out my shovel and start shoveling and salting the driveway and all that fun stuff. So anyways, let's get started with our project for tonight. I've done quite a few different drawings here, and I know we did faces and that type of stuff. Let me pull some of my sketches out. Let's just see here if there's something I can share. You know, I'm just having fun. When I'm always looking at things, I'm like trying to always I had a lot of fun drawings. I'm going to do this live. I think I did a video. I don't know if you guys saw this one. Just drawing of female characters. I had another one I did of this, and this is All the Rage. I guess it was the X-23 character by Daphne King. She was the actress who played in the Logan movie, and there's a lot of trending stuff going that she was offered to be back in this Deadpool 3 movie. So I was drawing her, my own concept designs, you know, just different characters and stuff like that. I don't know if you can see all this stuff, but just different characters. I was having fun drawing and practicing and stuff. So let's go over how I do it, and then you can sort of take that and have some fun with it. Okay, so I'm over here in Photoshop, and when you're storyboarding, let me throw a layer down here. Let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, so when you're storyboarding, let's get some colors here. Let's have some fun with it. Sort of our sketch session tonight is okay, so tonight we're sort of focusing on how to draw the female body, and you know, and I'm going to put in a little bit smaller parentheses for storyboards. Okay. So how do we draw the female body for storyboards? Okay. Um, we've seen all different types of storyboards out there, and this goes for my filmmaking friends out there. So if you're, because I make this open for everybody. This, I know we have a lot of artists and we have a lot of storyboard artists that hang out with me on this channel, but also I've put it out there for filmmakers. And you don't have to be the Michelangelo of drawing female figures or male figures or anything. What we're trying to do is put the visual template together, the blueprint of what the film is going to look like for potential clients, the rest of the crew. How are we putting this all together? Helps you sort of visualize what this is going to become. And I know there's been a lot of projects I've worked on or where it's all on spec, and we're trying to get some investment into that project, and I've been asked to do a bunch of different I would say story beats, not necessarily all the storyboards, but story beats to help get those the financial backing for these projects and get people excited. When you have it drawn out and it's like, wow, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna put that's a great story. I want to put some money behind that and make that happen. There's a lot of different ways. You got to be able to sell this stuff, but there's all different ways. And I think just going over this, and if you're a student filmmaker, a student of film, or even a filmmaker, I think it's so important. I don't know if you folks have seen, I know Sir Ridley Scott just came out with this Napoleon movie with Joaquin Phoenix, and he's up showing all of his different storyboards, because he's an artist by true nature. And he storyboards everything out and then goes ahead and shoots from there. You have Steven Spielberg. There's a ton of artistic directors out there that already have the vision, and they're putting their vision down on the paper, and it helps everybody get on the same page. You ever have that conversation with somebody and they're not getting it, and you're over descriptive and all that stuff? But what happens is when you draw a picture and you're drawing the sketch of the drawing, it gets everybody, it's sort of like the huddle for a football game, whether it's American football or soccer, you know what I mean? Everybody's huddling together, and okay, what's the game plan, team? And boom, it's the strategy, of getting that film done. So you don't need a lot of fancy artwork. So let's go over those different styles real quick, and then I'll drop in what I was going to be showing tonight. Okay. So when you're drawing, even just a simple, if you can draw a simple stick figure, that's a win. You know what I mean? And sitting there in a storyboard shot. And what I mean by that is just like your picture frame, is right here. You sort of got the idea of what you're doing if you have that character right there, boom. And that's the simplest of stick figures. And if you can draw that, you're already there, and you can have two people having a conversation. There's one person there, and maybe they're sad. Oh man, not having a good day. What's wrong? Blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? That's what you can do. You don't need all this fancy stuff, but it helps to, when you have more information, you can tell the story a little bit better in terms of what we're doing. So let's just talk about, let me move this around a little bit. So let's talk about the female figure, and we're talking about that. And we're sitting there and we're talking about grade school. I thought it was Angeli or something like that. And just like you have girls, and we know it's a girl, with a little bow in her hair, it's a girl, you know what I mean? You have that icon, and you can sit there and draw like that if you want to, and you put that in your storyboards. Because if you can draw something simple like this, you're already storyboarding, you're already telling story, you're already drawing these characters, you're already having fun with this stuff. You got to go with it, and if you can, this is the simplest of forms. And you can tell stories like this, and we do it all the time, and we've been doing it ever since we were kids, you know, and telling funny stories. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Same deal. And as we go, we can get fancier and fancier. So let's do it like this. How about we grab, before I get too far ahead of myself here, stay sort of organized. So let's grab all this. I can shut these layers off and on. So let's grab this. Okay, go back over here. So we can keep our image there. Good. And here. Okay, so I'm going to turn that one off. Okay, so we have our stick figures here. We have this figure. Figure there. Go back out. Okay, so this is what we're talking about. Okay, so if you can draw these basic things, the same thing we were talking about, the simplest form is this. With a little bit more detail, we know this character is a girl. And I know it's sort of, for some people, like, well, that's too easy. That's fine. But if you're a filmmaker and you have no art skills, this will suffice for what you're doing, okay? And then as we go forward, so I would say, you know, you're going from easiest to hardest of what you're doing here, learning how to draw. And I know a lot of you on the channel. Okay, so if you have something like that, and then let's just say the third one doesn't like this. Yeah, exactly. Tornado 2 just meant it's like a rig. Yeah, you're building a rig, and a rig is think of it like a cutout figure, and you have. Yeah, when I was a kid, you'd make dolls out of it. You had the upper torso. You put brass brads in it, or brass, brads in it, and you would have all your movable joints on it, and that's a rig. And if you're doing a 2D style of animation or 3D, you're building your rigs to make all of your limbs and appendages work and stuff. I have a good buddy who works over at Industrial Ice and Magic, and I know he worked on Kong. Does a lot of creature work, rigging and building all the rigs and stuff for creatures. And I know he did it for Kong, Skull Island, even making all these different. You know, his specialty was putting together creature rigs and making sure all the musculature and bones and everything is working properly with fur, and you could see the animal Kong breathing and things like that. Just an absolutely phenomenal artist. But you know, we see that type of work all the time. Okay, let me see here, and then so let's go to our next step in our sort of hierarchy here. The next step would be, and what we mean by a rig, and let me draw that out real quick. You can sort of see what Tornado 2 is talking about. Let's just say you had the head, and the head was with the body. It's like a paper doll in a sense. It'd be like this. And then you would have your arms on here, and there'd be a brad. It's like a little. And then these arms and legs would move. You'll see like early animation puppets and things like that do that too, and they could move all around and stuff like that. So, but anyway. And then today, with all 3D and stuff like that, now you get all the fancy rigs for 3D models and creatures and things. But the next thing we'll be talking about here, the next one would be, let's just say it's a little bit more complicated, where if you can draw this we sort of have, we know this is a woman. Like this. And it's a little bit more complicated. Okay, so let's shrink that one down. Okay, so it's a little bit more complicated, but it gets you the shape. You have a little bit more definition. Maybe on here we have some hair, sort of more animated look to it, and you have those shapes there. It's still a simple figure, but it's a female, and you see that a lot in character designers doing this type of work. We're going from a basic icon into what we're doing. So that'd be something number 3, and you can do a lot of great things. A lot of artists will go and use this sort of template sort of technique, or this sort of system, and you think about it, it's just sort of a head. It's like a gingerbread person type cookie, and you can draw that person, and if that person is sad, oh, the gingerbread cookie is sad, and here we are, or out of gas, or maybe the gingerbread person is, I'm drawing off the screen here, let's go, and then I have to sometimes be careful, because when I'm drawing I was like, oh, I forgot my video is right there. Okay, so what I mean, you can do all sorts of simple things just based on this sort of gingerbread man shape, and get a lot of emotion out of it, and you're sitting there going, maybe the gingerbread person is, jumping for joy, yeah, yay, or maybe they're punching a swing or something. Don't you mess with me, buddy. And we can use these simple forms, or maybe even we knock that shape out. Smack, whatever it might be, and you're using these simple shapes and forms to tell your story. Okay, so there's some definite cheats and hacks to create this, and what we're looking at. And so sort of this number 3 version, you'll usually see this like on, let's see if I can draw it real quick. It's over here. You can sort of look at it like this, and it's like this type of character, and maybe it's you'll usually see this on some sort of animated show or something like that, where it's the some sort of character like this. And you'll see that it's a little bit more advanced, but it's like you got the idea of the character here, you know, in terms of what you're doing. Okay. So there's a lot of detail that we're talking about over here. Let's close these out. Just here. Now, if you've been to art school or those type of things, or you're learning with me today, usually we see grid type of things if you're learning traditionally of how to draw the female body. And let's draw this together a little bit and have some fun with it. I'll take a sip of my drink. And there's so many fantastic artists out there, and they teach so many different methods of how to draw. I'm not trying to be exact. I'm just sort of showing the way I draw, and then we'll go from there. So to show the whole body from head to toe, usually you'll see this in that draw the marble way, and you'll see. Usually it's about, you know, when you're drawing the marble way, it's about 8 to 8.5 heads high. Okay, it's usually the way, if you've ever read that book on how to draw the marble way, it's usually 8 to 8.5 heads, okay? Let's delete that real quick. Okay, so we're saying about 8.5 heads high. And what do we mean by that when we're talking 8.5 heads high? What we're talking about is that if I take the character's head and I draw the character's head here, it's going to be 8 of those heads. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 8 heads high. And when you're doing the marble thing, that little half part is usually for the neck and the feet of your character. Okay, and that's where that 0.5 is coming from, right there. Okay, and what we're focused on for right now is that 8 heads high type of system that we have going on here. So let's grab that color. Let me just go across one. We can do better than that. One, 2, 'All we're doing is slicing that head apart, or we're copying that head over 8 times to come up with this character. Okay, so that sort of gives us a guideline, and then what we would do is loosen that back up. Turn this black to black, and then what we would do is we would build that character from there. So we would say, okay, the female's head is going to be right here. Okay. Nebulous Nominous. Hey, how you doing? Welcome back. Okay, we got our neck. We have our traps. We have our chest. Delts. We have our arm. Diamond shape for our hands. We have our rib cage, our other arm. Here we have our hips. Sort of what I'm looking at, going down. That's all. Let's take a look real quick. Let's finish this up. Get our line down. See, we have our kneecaps there. Okay. And that's sort of our front front position there. Hopefully we can see that. And that's our front of body. Picking this just up. There's a little light. Let's go 7. Let's see what I'm doing. Okay, and there's our body right there. And we're having fun with that. And then let's do like a side profile of this. So we do the same type of thing. So we'd have our face here, the shoulders, neck, chest, and here we have is our body here. Okay, so that gets us to our basics of what we're doing in terms of, hey, we're doing a traditional body teaching type of thing, but this is a general rule of thumb. Okay, and I hope everybody's following along just dandy, and I hope you're having a good time. Throw it in the chat if you're learning and having fun with this. And then we do the back side, and it's just the, if we're doing that, it would just be the replication of the front side, just a little bit different. So let me see here, what do we have here? So if we have that and we want to replicate the back of the body, we do the same thing here. We can just copy this one here. They do the same type of thing, just a little bit backwards. It would just be the reverse of what we just did. And it would be something like that. And then we have the reverse of the body in terms of what we're doing. Hands are a little long, but that's all right. But you got the idea of what we're doing here. Okay, so enough chitter chatter here on structures. Let's draw. So at home, when I'm drawing now, when you're at home and you're drawing with me, I think I talked to who was I talking to? I was talking to somebody. I know it's come up a few times. And my challenge to you is when you're working on your drawings, I'm all good. Copy what you see on the screen. Copy that as much as you want. Tornado T, the tricky one is going to the 3/4 view. Yeah, we'll do some 3/4 views for you. I'll write that down so I remember to do that as we're drawing. Okay, but what I want you to do, the challenge I gave to you good folks at home, I'm cool with the copy, but make it your own. Do your own drawing, your own way, your own style. I know Ronnie has a really cartoony way of drawing, and that's absolutely phenomenal. There is no right, there is no wrong. And draw it in the style that you feel most comfortable with, and have fun with it. Make these drawings your own, so you have your own work you're creating out of these times that we're spending together. And that's where I put the challenge to you. So let me get this going on here. And there's a couple different also ways, and I know I've shown this with the face, but there are some other ways that we can draw, and we'll talk about those things. But let's just draw. Let me see if I can hit up with a tornado. So when I'm drawing, and I'm drawing my face, let's just say I'm drawing a woman's face, and you're doing the 3/4 view. Okay, there's my 3/4 view. Okay. I have here, I have my ear, the jawbone. I have my hair, the woman here. We're just sort of having fun with it. There's an eye here, an eye there. The nose is here. Here's her mouth. She's here. She's got some hair. Maybe she's got some crazy hair going on here. Crazy hair day. I don't know what she's doing here, but she's right there. I'm going to come down with that neck. This is how I sort of draw in terms of what we're doing. I'm looking at that chest area here. If I zoom out, the character, the center of the screen here, I'm gonna, when I'm drawing, there's different formulas that people can draw, and sometimes some people, they think about it, they draw with triangles. So, when they're drawing like this, and this is what you call your hourglass figure. Where the chest is up here, the bottom section is here, the woman's body is like this. In terms of what we're doing, the hourglass figure. There's so many different ways you can go about doing what we're talking about tonight. There's no wrong way and no right way, as long as it works for you and it tells the story. What I mean by that is this hourglass. figure. And for women, you got to remember too, the upper torso, and listen, just like men, we come in all varieties, you know, different sizes, different shapes, different ethnicities, different ways that our musculature is on our bodies, or how we're holding a weight, or our age, or other things like that. So there's so many different ways that we can draw. But your basic female shape, you're going to use a lot of curves. You're going to use, you know, we were talking about these triangle, the hourglass shapes. So you're just looking at shapes like this. And the one thing here, let me finish this little drawing here, I'll move that over, is that when we're thinking about the female body, and when I'm drawing the female body, is I want this area here is going to be a lot narrower than this area here, between those two areas. So when I'm drawing, and you know, I think about it like that, you know, and for a man, it's going to be different, and it's going to be where it's all upper body, and then the pelvis system is smaller, okay? And that's a really big difference. And when you're learning anatomy, it's critical to know those things. And then there's all different types, you know. Usually when you're seeing a lot of drawings of comic book hero men, it is always like totally buffed out of possibilities there, you know, and not all men look like that. So, you know, that's why I sort of tend to look at more, you know, Hal Foster work, like Simonson, you know, who else? Trying to think. Sorry, I'm late at night. I'm trying to get all these artists. Joe Kubert. You know, not everybody is like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You have all different times. How about the Jason Statham fans? He's a really muscular guy, but he has a thinner frame. I know he used to be a diver and fantastic martial artist, and you see him fighting the Meg shark all the time. You know, great physique. You know, but yet he's not, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know, so there's all different types. Or we're talking about, you know, Bruce Willis and Die Hard, an everyday Joe guy, you know, in terms of what we're doing. But when you're drawing these figures, you're thinking of those different shapes. And my sort of point is the hourglass shape for a female. So we're going to do something like, you know, and it's also whatever's, you know, your director or client is asking for. If you're doing a Estee Lauder commercial, you know, or something, you know, it depends on what they're going for compared to, you know, a Dove soap bar or something like that, or a cream product. You know, you're going to draw different ways, or maybe different ages. You know, you have to be able to draw all these different things. You know, so but today, for what we're doing, we're going to sort of focus on this type of body style here and here. And we'll do another session where we do men. So let me drop this down in opacity, and let's draw this character one more time. So I hope you're having fun. Tornado T, I've learned that triangles work very well for capturing the female form. There are other equally valid shapes too. Yeah, totally. Totally. We're going to try a bunch of different ones in terms of what we're doing tonight. Okay, so we had this character here. Let's go right down right here, and just sort of drawing her. really don't look crazy here. Here. Let's go ahead and draw her body. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll come down, have my neck in there, and I'm using those shapes we were talking about. I'll be in there and I'll be like, okay, there we go. There's our shoulder blades. You know, if I zoom out a little bit, we can sort of see this structure, this character building up from here. There's different ways I can take on this from here. All different strategies. Some people go and they'll do vice versa. They'll do something like, you know, that triangle fashion. They'll do something like this in terms of what we're doing, and then add your limbs from here. Your chest in here like this. Arms will be out there. There's different ways you can do this. I tend not to use a lot of shapes like that. I'm just sort of showing you today what we're doing. As we're drawing these I'm drawing here. In terms of what we're doing, there's all different, like I said, there's all different ways you can draw. In terms of what you're doing here. And then you can just come through, once you have the basic shape language, what you're looking for, then you can come in I think if there's then you sort of know. Sort of got the idea. You don't even have to do it like that, you can erase. There's all different ways you can work this. And you can put these characters together for your storyboards. The other thing too, let me just go back to some of the fundamental ways we were drawing too. So when I'm looking and I'm drawing, there's all different ways to do this. But sometimes we'll draw like this. Open this up a little bit. is you have your head. You have your chest. You have your arms. And we want that pelvis out. So sometimes what we'll do is we'll have that pelvis there, and I sort of, you have those figures here, and here's the hip bones, in terms of how you're putting that character together. Let's say we have something like this, okay, and we're drawing that character. And then we can just drop on top of it. Here's the collarbone. Think about it, there's that rib cage here. Remember, those hips are going to be wider. So we can use a diamond shape here for the arms. As we're drawing that figure here. Sort of get the idea here, what we're doing here. and just have some fun with it. Okay. So we were using just some basic shapes. So if we got rid of the crazy hair, it started off like that. Okay. And if we grab all three of these, we can straighten her out a little bit. Scale this thing. Let's do a quick save on this. Okay. Now we can finish that drawing a little bit here too. Thanks, Tornado 2. Let's finish off our drawing here. So her knees are going to be there. Have one more break. Change what we got as we draw the female figure. Hello, Camilo, Palma, how you doing? Welcome to the live stream. Appreciate you being here. So we got a lot of new people here on tonight too, so I really appreciate everybody taking the time out of your busy days to come in and hang out with Polly as we're drawing some ladies here for Storyboards. And so I hope you're all having a good time. Any questions? I'm going to take a quick sip here of my drink. Any questions? Please do share them on the chat. Any questions? I know I have Tornado T and Ronnie's on the live stream today. Nebulous Nominous came back again. Camilo, where are you from? Drop it in the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me take a sip here. Okay. So there's all different types of little cheats and tricks to draw and different shapes and things like that as we're having fun drawing. And we were talking about just triangles. There's all different methods of drawing. You can use circles to get that soft shape. You can do the chest. We were just talking about that. That's how we started this drawing. The hip, you can even do it as a circle too, because you want those hips just a little bit tighter, in terms of what you're doing. We talked about that. We talked about sort of more of a triangle type method. In terms of our face structure here. It's for that hourglass shapes, all different forms. Of what we're doing to draw those silhouettes. In terms of what we're doing here. That's the other thing too, is having a strong silhouette in terms of what you're doing here. It takes a lot of practice, and practice as much as you can over and over. So Camilo, hi, I'm from Chile. I'm a freelance illustrator so far. Happy to see your work. I'm here drinking tea and drawing too. Great. Well, welcome. I really appreciate you joining on from Chile. We got people from all over the country, all over the world. I know Bharat isn't on tonight, but Bharat is from India. We have so many people from all around the world, and I'm so happy you could join us today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you're learning a lot with me and having some fun. So far we've drawn a lot of different things, and if you're just jumping on, watch the replay to see what we're doing and how we're doing it. So let's we've gone on all different types of ways to draw and to create this imagery in terms of what we're doing, and you can have some different fun with it too. I was just sort of thinking out loud. There's all different styles too. I know Ronnie has a real sort of animation style to the work, and so I'm always thinking about how people are drawing and where it can help out and stuff. And I tend to when I'm thinking, out loud, and because a lot of people, I do a lot of live action, so I'm always drawing everything realistically, and I thought, well, I'm going to challenge myself to draw sort of something more cartoony in terms of what I was doing, what I'm doing. So I'm going to have sort of fun with this. I'm just going to sort of draw, just sort of have fun, sort of free draw. So draw whatever. Ooh, that was ugly. What was that? Holy smoke. So to do a free draw here. We're drawing the ladies here, but we can draw different ways. I was thinking of more of a cartoony style as I was drawing. I guess this is from my animator days. Drawing, we were drawing faces last week. I'm just sort of having fun with this. Another idea I had too. And sometimes when I'm drawing and I'm storyboarding and stuff like that, what I'll do sometimes is I'll go and I'll draw the face first, and then I'll construct the body later. I don't know why I do that sometimes, but I'll do that sometimes. Okay, so let's try another drawing here. So has that real animated look. Sort of Farrah Fawcett looking. Remember the '70s. Farrah Fawcett was all the, I guess she was the first poster everybody in the '70s wanted. For all the young guys out there. She was one of the original Charlie's Angels. Sort of that vibe. And this sort of what I'm doing right now is for a couple of my friends out there that do a lot of animation and stuff. So I'm gonna do this is simple. There's nothing fancy about what we're doing here. Okay, so we sort of have this character here we drew. I'll shrink this down a little bit. Reads really easy. Okay, I'm going to say, oh, we want to give her a body or something. So let's shrink her down. Oops. Zoom back in. Okay. Sort of doing a little bit of character design here. But the same sort of philosophy that we can do here is how we created this girl. Just go And let's work it out. Let's you know, use that shape language that we were talking about earlier, and sort of let's draw her. Okay, she's gonna be here. Anyway, she's gonna have her arms there. Sounds like what we're doing. It's right here. We're working with the bones, you know, we're working with different things. You can have some fun with it. You can shape, use that silhouette to shape what you're trying to do too. Sort of a little cheat there. Yeah, we're thinking about those different shapes. I'm just playing around with it right now. Just having fun with this. It's like, as I'm designing and thinking, I'm like, well, I'm just thinking of poses and things like that as I'm drawing. Just thinking of what can we do with this character. How, and we could also just say, well, we don't like that at all. Let's delete that. But maybe she's in an action pose of some sort. Like a Supergirl, or, you know, I mean, you can do all different things with this. I'm sort of thinking, I don't know where I want to go with this. I don't know, but we're just thinking of different ways we can work with this. We can lighten that up. Add the new layer in there. And sort of build that character. We could shrink it and do all sorts of stuff to get it going. So I hope you're all having a good time drawing with me tonight. I'm happy everybody's here. We've got folks from all over joining us tonight, so thanks so much. So I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking of that collarbone. this like jazzercise vibe going on here. Cool, I'm glad you like the Toon Lady. He's having fun drawing, and that's what these sketching after hours are to be. Explore, try different things, see what's going on. And she's got like a Mary Lou Retton thing going on here, animated style. If something's not right, change it. You know, if it doesn't look right and the proportions are off or something, then change it. Like, hey, I want to extend the torso. Okay, cool. Extend your torso, move it around, try different things. You can change the direction. That's what I love about Photoshop sometimes. You know, how do I make it all work? We're just having fun with this, you know. Let's see. We're just having different styles and different ways you can draw and have some fun with this. And if you're getting in there, you can that's what's nice about drawing and having fun. Sort of got this like sort of mango vibe or something going on with this. That's good enough for this one right now. I'll take a sip here. Hope everybody's having a good time. You've got lots of drawings going on. Doing some good stuff. Okay. Take a sip of my drink here. Okay. Yeah. Don't forget to share your work with me. I'd love to see your work. You know, what you're working on. Go ahead and, you know, on my Instagram, let me put that back up for you real quick. On my Instagram feed, send me a DM. Tell me what you're up to, and you know, share your drawings. My Instagram, I think I spelled it wrong here, but it's Mr_Paul PAUL_ANGELI. If you just do a search on my name, you'll see it pop up. I'd love to see your work, what you guys are creating based on what we're doing on this live stream. So please go ahead and you know, share it with me. I'd love to see that. Let's see, Ronnie, I think it's time to call it a night. Oh, Andreas, let me go back a couple here. Having a great time, loving the look of the Toon Lady. Definitely Tornado. Andreas, Framed Ink Book Vibes, Mateo's book. Absolutely phenomenal. If you haven't read that series of books of Framed Ink and Perspective 1, 2, very great artist in terms of his style, Marcus Mateo, you know, so good stuff there. Ronnie said, I think it's time to call it a night. I had fun. These are definitely my favorite sketches I've done during the sketching after hours. I will share them on Instagram. I'm looking forward to it, Ronnie. You have a great night. Thanks so much. Have a good night. And good night, Ronnie, Tornado T, and Tornado T's. We're gonna go a little bit longer. Do a couple more drawings here, and I'm gonna call it a night. It's been a long day. I get up pretty early and stay up pretty late, and you know, having fun with this, and it's just a chance that we can all get together, have fun, sketch together, and enjoy ourselves, having fun with what we're doing. So I appreciate everybody joining in, you know, with the live stream. I can't believe it, and I thank each of you so very much for watching you know, these live streams. I've been doing this now just a little tad over 2 months, coming to 3 days a week, you know, and sharing my journey and processes of being a professional storyboard artist, and you know, my sort of specialty is live action, but I've also worked in anime. I've worked in all different categories, so I have fun doing these types of things with you in terms of what we're doing. And I'm really thankful again to each of you subscribing, participating, being a part of this community of artists. And we're almost there, almost at 500 subscribers. When I started this channel, I was like, I couldn't believe how quickly it has grown, and it's because of you at home. So if you're here live with me, thank you so much for joining me, and I appreciate you being a part of this with me. And for those of you that are watching it, because I know this time is sort of an odd time for a lot of people across the world, and I sincerely appreciate you taking the time to watch me and watch what we're doing on this channel and supporting the channel. So again, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Okay, let's continue back to drawing. Let's do something a little bit different. Okay, so let's change it up. You know, let's we'll do a little bit of cartooning now, and I'm gonna change this up. I think it's always good to stretch yourself, do different things, keep it interesting, like I was talking about earlier. Keep it interesting, keep it fresh, have fun with it, do different things. So let's see where we're going to go. Okay, so we got our page here. I'm going to get my stylus too. Let's go. Good. Okay. Now that we got a lot of practice, fine. Our ladies there. Let's put it into the picture frame. Sort of draw with this. Okay. So now that we've done all this practice, and we're confident in our line drawings and what we're doing, let's go back to storyboarding now. And let's put our drawings into the picture frame. And how would I go about, now that we've practiced full bodies and all that type of stuff, how would I go about drawing ladies and females in our storyboard bounding boxes? How do we get that done? How do we put that stuff together? Let's explore that together and see where we can go with this. Okay, so again, I have a storyboard bounding box here, our picture frame, which is what the box is. And let's sort of have fun with this. Okay, so I'm thinking out loud a little bit. And there's different approaches, and so all those different approaches we've been talking about, we can play with those now and see what we can do. Okay, so I'm going to change my brush a little bit. Try to get it at a size here. And I'm just sort of thinking out loud as I'm drawing here. And in terms of what I'm doing, so we're sort of looking at these drawings. And this is how, I'm thinking about those frames, and I'm like, well, how can I do this? How can I make this work? I'm thinking of those shapes. Now, I'm thinking of that hourglass shape, and I'm like, how do I play around with this now? I'm thinking, how do I use these? Female. Female shapes in my storyboards. As we're thinking of some sort of battle scene between two characters. So when I'm boarding, I'm thinking of composition, I'm thinking about the figure in terms of what I'm doing here. Thinking of who's dominant, who's not dominant. How is this going to work out? squashing, stretching, and sort of working with this character's given in a picture frame. Just play around with it a little bit, see where we can go with this. Yeah, totally. Turning Into You said, I like the foreshortening in that panel. It does a great job of showing depth in the scene. You know, you can do that, and you can also do it with the line weight. Something that's closer to you will be a thicker line, and this character here will be a thinner, you know, a little bit thinner in terms of your construction of your lines. In terms of what you're doing as close up and far away as we're working here. You know, if we're doing that. We're just sort of setting up that shot, okay? So let's just say this is our shot that we're working with, having these two ladies. So let's tone that down a little tad bit. And sometimes I draw like that. So if this is our thumbnail, so let's say, example, this would be our thumbnail here. Okay, Paula just created the shot. We created it in no time at all. And this is our thumbnail pass. Okay? And that's what we have going on right now. Okay, so let's move from the thumbnail pass and drop this down a little bit so I can at least see it and just sort of work with it. And then now I'm going to create another layer, and this would be sort of my line art area here. And remember, I'm going to use that smallest line weight. Maybe I do that for that character and use a thicker line for the one closest to us. And we don't, since it's so far away and this character is so far away, we just want to see what's going on. Maybe it's some sort of voyeur. Futuristic warrior. She has some sort of gauntlet. Type system here. She's coming from behind. The ground is we're just making this up as we're going. That person's coming out. And then this character, we're gonna do another quick layer. We're gonna finish her up, but we're gonna use a little bit thicker line. She's closer to the camera. See how this looks. Maybe a little too strong. As we're drawing these storyboards, sort of thinking as I'm going here. I'm just sort of having fun drawing these boards. So if I turn off that back layer here, cool. And do this. Dump some black in there. And 25%. And if we want this particular character to be our focus, maybe we can go in make that character pop. We want our eye to focus on this character. You sort of get the idea. If you want to, you can go back in, and all we did, we can go to like a 50%. And bring some extra color into there. And then maybe we can get this character here. I don't know if we just see her in a silhouette. We'll have to figure it out in terms of what we're doing here. In terms of what we're doing, see how that looks. I think what we do is just drop it down to like a 75%. We can even darken it. Sort of thinking, working at silhouette here. Go up on top. So I'm now just roughing out this board now. I'm just working on this frame. Let's see where I can go with this. Just having fun with this, and we're just putting together this quick little shot here of these two women fighting for this scene. But anyways, I'm having fun tonight, and I hope you friends out there have had a good time. Tonight we've been focused on drawing female bodies and drawing female bodies for storyboards, and I've shown a bunch of different tips and tricks on how to create your boards for storyboards out there, and how to do those drawings. So I hope you had a great time tonight. I appreciate you spending some time with me and learning together with me. Again, thanks Tornado T. Tornado T, like the lighting. So this was so before I end it, I would just say this is what I would call just sort of my rough pass here. And that's what this would be. And then I would go and then hone it and have an iteration of this and get the characters on model or whatever I was doing. But I'm just trying to come up with mood and feeling and tell some story, what's going on between these two women duking it out here in the jungle or wherever they are, and have some fun with it. So again, I hope everybody had a great time tonight. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Again, if you enjoyed this live stream, please give it a like, and I'd appreciate your subscribing to my channel. I work really hard and put this on 3 nights a week, and I'm excited to bring more value content to you visual storytellers out there. Again, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for Saturday. We're going to be doing our jam session on Saturday evening, same time. So if you can join us for all those new people. But again, I wanted to just go through the list here. Tornado T, I appreciate you jumping on. Ronnie, thank you so much. Andreas, always a pleasure. Camilo, thank you so much for joining us from Chile. And anybody else who I missed, thanks for jumping on. I really appreciate everybody being on this live stream. Again, I'm going to leave you with my contact information. Please drop me an Instagram DM. I'd love to see your work based on what we're doing tonight. And for those of you at home watching this on a replay, keep drawing each and every day. Hone in and keep those skill sets going. I hope this brought you some great value, and I will see all of you in the next live stream. Again, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.